Hey, what's up you guys? So today I have a different video for you guys, and I know I haven't been on YouTube for a little bit, so yeah, leave me alone. But today is February 10th, and I posted a video. I posted a TikTok video, and it kind of popped off, I guess. And it was about my weight loss journey, and I haven't really talked about it anywhere besides Twitter, like twice, and I guess now TikTok. But yeah, just in case you didn't know, I've lost like 60 pounds. And sorry I look like this, by the way. I'm about to go to the gym, so I just wanted to film this really quickly. I decided, you know what, I'm gonna make a YouTube video dedicated to my weight loss. As of right now, I've lost 64 to 65. I keep fluctuating between those two, and it is a little bit frustrating, but it's the way weight goes, you know. But as of right now, I've lost 64 to 65. I'm gonna just say 60 pounds just to, you know, keep it consistent. I've always been heavy my whole life. Ever since I was younger, I've always been bigger, and that never really bothered me. Like, I never got bullied for being big. I never got bullied for being fatter than everybody else. I genuinely didn't have a problem with it growing up, and even in high school I didn't have a problem with it. Nobody would point it out, nobody would say anything about it. Like, I don't know, like, I guess I just was lucky in that way that nobody ever like bullied me for being fat. So I was always really comfortable in my own body. I was always really comfortable in my own skin, and I was like, you know what, it is what it is, this is me. And I mean, I was still living my life, you know. So honestly, thank God that it was the way it was, because I feel like that really helped me create a healthy relationship with weight and a healthy relationship with myself. And also, my parents were never on my case about my weight. They would try to help me out and stuff. Like, they would try to take me to like dietitians, nutritionists and stuff when I was younger, but they never were like, because I know some people's parents would be like, you're fat, like you're gaining weight, you have to lose weight, whatever, blah blah. And that creates such a negative relationship with your weight that luckily my parents never made with me. And they did try to help me. They did try to get me like proper diets, proper nutrition, but it is what it is, you know. So I think overall that really helped me, because I don't have a negative feeling towards my weight. I never had a negative feeling towards the way I looked in general. So I think that has really helped me now that I'm older. Especially because I see the juxtaposition between me and like some of my friends whose parents like try to pressure them into trying diets and stuff. Like, it's very different. It's very different, and it's not necessarily the healthiest thing, I would say. And so basically that was it, like me growing up, whatever. And then when I was 16, my parents again tried to help me, and they took me to this nutritionist who had helped one of our other friends lose weight. And we were like, oh shit, okay, like, well, maybe this will help us. So then we went, and she gave us this plan. And the plan, she didn't necessarily tell us like exactly like keto. It was just mentioned as low carb, moderate protein, high fat. And so I decided to give it a shot, and in 2 months I lost 20 pounds. That's literally 10 pounds a month. And I did it by following her stuff like very rigorously. And honestly, for me, it was really encouraging to see that I was losing weight. But something like personal life happened, and I just had to stop going to the nutritionist, because obviously, as you guys know, nutritionists are expensive. This shit ain't cheap. So we had to stop going, which sucked, but it was okay, because I was 16. I was not trying to live such a restricted diet, if you will. Like, if I wanted Whataburger, I wanted to go get Whataburger. If I was hanging out with my friends and we wanted to order like pizzas and stuff, I wanted to be able to do that. And that's the thing, I wanted to do that, you know. So I was like, okay, you know what, like, it didn't work out, and I just didn't like keep with it. So I ended up gaining all the weight back. And so then finally my aunt and I looked into what exactly she had us doing, and it was keto. Basically, it was like a modified version of keto. And so we tried to do it on our own, and we ended up doing it on our own for a couple months. And again, I would break it, and I'd be like, you know what, like, I'm 17 now, like, I'm trying to live my life. I'm not trying to restrict what I'm eating. I'm not trying to be healthier. I genuinely didn't care. Like I said, I was just kind of like, you know, like, whatever. I'm young, I'll worry about this later. So I knew that keto worked for me, and I knew that the modified version of the nutritionist keto worked for me. I just didn't want to do it. Genuinely, that's it. I just didn't want to do it, and I didn't want to keep with it or stick with it. So I was just like, you know what, whatever. Like, it's fine. Like, it is what it is. I don't care. So then fast forward to when I was 18, again, the yo-yoing of trying keto, not doing keto, trying keto, not doing keto. I wasn't committed. I tried keto maybe, I want to say 3 times on my own and twice with the nutritionist, and I was just not committed whatsoever. And it just was not something that I wanted to do wholeheartedly. I was not in it to win it, genuinely. I was not in it to win it. I would do it for a couple months. I would see the progress. I'd be like, yay, what's up? And then I just stopped. So finally, when I was 19, I've already graduated high school. I've been in college for a little bit. And my parents, January 2019, we were going to move from the house that I've literally grown up in my whole life. And they're like, you know what, we're going to move half an hour away. Like, and I could drive to go see my friends, but anytime I would go see them, it's like we would go out to eat, or we would just do something that wasn't necessarily healthy. And it was just like, it was so much harder to go from literally having my best friend be my neighbor to driving half an hour and being here, you know? And I didn't know anybody here, so I'm a really social person, so I fell into really bad depression, and I was like, you know what, like, this sucks. Like, I hate it here. And I was just very upset with, I guess, the way things were going. And I didn't like the fact that I had moved. I didn't like the fact that, you know, I didn't like a lot of stuff. I was just really unhappy. I was trying to find comfort in anything. And then fast forward to March, I decide to weigh myself. And I weigh myself March 24th, 2019. And I look at the scale, and it is the biggest I've ever weighed in my life, or the highest I've ever weighed in my life, and that terrified me. And to know that that was quite literally the highest I've ever been genuinely sent me into a frenzy. And in my head, I was like, listen, if you don't stop this now, you're gonna continue to get bigger. And I knew that my habits were only getting worse. So I remember just like sitting on my bed, and I was just like, oh my God, like, I cannot believe I weigh that much. And I was just like, I need to get my butt going. Like, I need to do something. I need to do something about this. So then March 25th comes, and I decided that's it. That's the day that I'm changing. And I was like, you know what? I've done keto before. I told my parents, I was like, I've done keto before. I know that it works for me. I like it. I just don't stick by it. And that's the one problem. I don't stick by it. I stick by it by a couple months, maybe 3 months, 4 months, but never long enough to keep my results going. And even then, I'll break it in between. You know, like, I'll be on it for 2 weeks, and then I'll break it for like 2 days, and then I'll get back on it. You know, that's not consistent. It's not gonna work out. So I was just like, you know what? I know keto works for me, and I'm so dedicated. I'm so dedicated to doing this now. And I'm 19. I'm prime time to change, you know. I have a lot of free time now that I've moved, and I'm really sad. So, you know what? I'll just start by changing the way I eat, my eating habits. And so yeah, I went full on keto mode. Keto basically is when you cut out carbs, when you cut out sugar and everything like that, that your body no longer uses glucose to fuel itself. It now uses your fat. So then you start burning fat. And I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, basically basic rundown of that. You take high fat to keep you fueled throughout the day and give you energy, and low carb so that your body doesn't use glucose or go back to using glucose as its main energy source. It now becomes fat adapted. So I decided to do that, and I completely fell in love with it. And April comes, and one of my dogs die, or however you say it, one of my dogs passed away. And that really hurt a lot, because not only was I already depressed, not only was I at my highest weight, not only was I trying to change myself, but then one of my dogs die. But you know what? I literally remember being like, you know what? You can be sad about this, and you can sit here and you can moan and bitch about it, but you can get up and go to the gym and be distracted for at least an hour and a half, and you won't have to think about how sad you are. You won't have to think about how depressed you've been. You won't have to think about that, because for an hour and a half, you'll be at the gym focused on something else. And that's what I started doing. I started going to the gym because luckily there was like a gym around my house, and I didn't know anyone, so nobody could distract me while I was at the gym, because if I worked out with a friend, I would be there and I'd be chatting with them. I'd be like, oh, and I wouldn't be giving my workouts 100%. And that's what really helped me at the end, in a blessing in disguise, is that I had nobody here. I had nothing else to do besides work out by myself. And that really helped me, genuinely. So that's how it all started, basically. I was really depressed and I decided to change. I lose maybe like 25 pounds by May, and that really encouraged me a lot. That was insane to me that I had lost 25 pounds. And then June came around, and I will be honest, I basically took all of June off because it was my birthday. And I kept celebrating and celebrating and celebrating and going out with certain friends and being like, oh my god, let's have some cake. And I was like, shit, you right. And I'd break it, and then I'd just be like, oh shoot, like I need to get back on track. So yeah, for the most part, I broke it all of June. I broke it all of October. And then in December, Christmas through New Year's, Christmas to the 5th, I broke it. So basically a rundown of how long I've been doing it. Now, for a lot of people, I know keto is kind of scary. Trust me, I know it's kind of scary. It's dedication. Genuinely, it is dedication, and that's the one thing that a lot of people are missing when they go on like a weight loss journey. Especially nowadays, because we're so young, we want results quick and we want results fast. And like I said, when I was younger, I would do them and I knew I would get results, but I didn't commit to them because I was young and I wanted to eat whatever I wanted. And it's so crazy to me now to think back then. I was like, you know what, if I don't lose a weight by the time I'm like 25, I'm gonna just get like a gastric bypass surgery just so I can be skinny at least like once. And I was like, now thinking about it, I'm like, why would I think that? Why would I say that when literally all the tools are in front of me and I just didn't want to do anything about it? You know what I mean? Like, I knew keto worked for me. I knew that it worked for other people. I just didn't want to like put my 100% into it. And it's difficult. It's hard. The way I think about it, I'm like, there was months back then when I first started where I wish I was where I am now. And that is the one thing that keeps me going. I think the tools are here for people to use them. And it took me a while to recognize that I had to use them. It took me like my breaking point to use them. And it is what it is, you know. I am where I am now. I didn't start it when I was younger because I didn't want to. I started it when I was 19. I'm 20 now. And it's about to be a year in March. So we'll see where I'm at then. But for now, some people ask me for some tips. You have to want it. Genuinely, you have to want it. I wanted it this bad and I still want to keep going. That's the only thing that fuels me. That's literally the only thing that keeps me going. And progress, I know it comes slowly, but once, like, it's literally seeing my fitness pal chart like literally going down the way that it has, I'm just like, wow, like that is insane. To look at videos and pictures of myself before and after, I'm just like, that's crazy, because you do get used to it. Like, I look at my body now and I'm like, I've always been this way, I've always been this size, nothing has changed. And I'll get down on myself, but then I look at videos and like pictures and I'm like, literally everything has changed. Everything has changed. Nothing has stayed the same. Genuinely, I believe this is the best decision I've ever made. I'm healthier now than I ever was my whole high school like life. Like, literally, I weigh less now than I ever did in high school. So if you knew me in high school, I'm skinnier now than I was then. So that kind of puts into perspective. So yeah, my last parting thoughts and tips are, do keto. Look into keto at least. Like I'm telling you, there's so many videos, there's so much stuff out there. I genuinely enjoy it. I love the results I've been getting. I love it. I love it. I love this lifestyle. I don't think I could ever go back to eating carbs full time. That's pretty much it. I've done keto. Here I am now. I took June, October, Christmas, all the way through January 5th off, and I managed to lose 65 pounds. So that's pretty much it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any more questions, leave them down below. If you guys want to see what I eat in a day or like what I do, because some people were asking me for like routines and stuff, which I'm like, and yeah, please be nice. Please be nice, because I'm nice. So yeah. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna go to the gym now and I'll see you guys later. Bye.